Chair recognizes the young lady from Florida for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. And good morning, Secretary Mayorkas.
Congresswoman, it's forgive me. I apologize for interrupting. It's a little difficult to hear you.
Can you hear me better
I think you
now?
need to turn your volume up.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
I'll focus even more intensely on,
Okay.
on your
All right.
question.
Well, I'll jump right in on the questions and I'll speak as loud as I possibly can. So, Secretary Mayorkas, you would, I'm assuming, certainly agree that border security is under the purview of Homeland Security.
Yes.
Excellent. So, can you tell me what the job description of the border czar is?
Do you mean the Secretary of Homeland Security? My responsibilities.
I'm referring to the appointment from President Biden to Vice President Harris as the border czar.
Congresswoman, you are speaking with the individual who has responsibility for border security as the Secretary of Homeland Security.
So
the
there's
Vice
a break
President's
then
response
with the administration. So it is our understanding that Vice President Harris has been appointed by President Biden as a border czar, and so
that is
you disagree.
That is a misunderstanding. The Vice President, her focus is on addressing the root causes of irregular migration, working with the countries of Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras in the Northern Triangle to understand why people are leaving their home countries, their homes where they speak the language, where they built their lives.
Security of the United States. I understand that I understand where you're going with this, but I'm going to reclaim my time. So I'm just going to redirect. How many agents do we have, Border Patrol agents do we have on the southwest border?
I will provide you with a precise number, Congresswoman. I will provide that to you later today.
As Secretary of Homeland Security, we have a border crisis, and you can't tell me how many agents we have, roughly, approximately, on the southwest border?
Congresswoman, I think you're aware of the fact that the tens of thousands of Border Patrol agents that we have. You're well aware of the responsibilities that they execute and the talent and expertise they bring to
the
border.
And there's roughly 20,000 for both the north and southern borders on the United States. Can you tell me how many sectors we have in Texas?
I cannot provide to you the precise number of sectors that we have.
Secretary Mayorkas, there are 9 sectors. I'll answer that for you. And in the president's budget, they allocated $9.1 million in coordinators, which will be the equivalent of 125 agents, which are not full-fledged agents. They are transporters for migrants and paper intake folks. But when we have a record number of retirees out of the Border Patrol agents with some of the lowest morale in the country, and 40% of the agents in just the RGB sector alone, one of the highest activity sectors that are seeing the highest numbers of apprehensions and gotaways along the southwest border, 40% of the agents are already doing humanitarian. Do you think 125 agents of coordinators, additional coordinators, is sufficient given the numbers?
Congresswoman, if you understand the workforce and its needs.
I do not mean to be rude, but just a yes or no will suffice.
No, may I please have the opportunity to answer your question, because this is so vitally important, not only to the execution of our responsibilities, but to the morale of the Border Patrol agents. What we try to avoid is having Border Patrol agents execute mission support responsibilities, and therefore we are recruiting and hiring individuals with different job portfolios so that those with expertise can actually execute the responsibilities within the parameters of their expertise.
Secretary Mayorkas, I'm not sure what expertise is required to drive a bus or van and to fill out paperwork, but I do think that our full-fledged sworn officers and agents need more support from the administration. Absolutely. I'm going to redirect in the remaining time that I have. As you know, FEMA's Emergency Food and Shelter Program provides federal funds, and I have recently been on an airplane in McAllen, Texas, in which migrants were being flown on that plane that I was on, and these were migrants that we had picked up the night before. It's my understanding that FEMA is supporting the travel costs of these migrants. Is that true?
Congresswoman, we've brought resources from different agencies to address the security of the border. It reflects our commitment to achieving that security. It is part of our strategy, and we are executing on that strategy. We have dedicated FEMA personnel to the Department of Health and Human Services as well, personnel from U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services to address the needs of unaccompanied children. It's what you and I spoke of at the last hearing, and I think the progress that, the extraordinary progress that we made with respect to that mission set speaks precisely to what I communicated to you in March, which is we have a strategy,
And
we're
Mr.
executing
Secretary,
our strategy.
I understand that my time has expired. I want to be respectful of the chairman. So I'll take your answer as a yes, that FEMA has been supporting the travel costs of migrants. And I will also submit for the record that once again, the questions that I submitted to the record to you, Secretary Mayorkas, in March have gone unanswered. I will again repeat my request to have your office respond in writing to those requests. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Thank you very much.